Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pink Shade. It's Thursday, and that means it's Pop and Bravo. It's a day where we talk about pop culture, we talk about Bravo, and I've got somebody here who I would say is an expert in both. It's my friend, Deanna Cheng.
How you doing?
Good. Deanna popped on and said, "Hey, bitch," and I liked it. I liked
Yeah,
it.
just like let's look alive. It's a Wednesday. We could dip our energy, but
No, why? Why?
oh,
Let's
you
keep
know
it up.
what? You know what,
What?
Mary Payne? It's really a callback
Oh.
to Kelly from our MILF
Mm.
Manor days. Remember when
Mm-hmm.
she was like, "Hey, bitch"? That must have been in the back of my head somewhere. Kelly, the blonde, rode hard and put away wet one.
OC Kelly. Mm-hmm.
OC, yeah. She
Yeah.
would like roll in being like, "Hey, bitch."
Yeah, not Kelly Mack. She would
No,
never.
no, 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 she would
Mm-mm.
never. God help
She's too
us.
busy dancing around in a Trump bikini.
Right.
Yes,
That's what she's up to,
that's what she's up to. And that, God bless. Um,
always.
I have to tell you, Deanna, I was thinking about you this morning
Thank
because
you.
I watched your podcast has a Substack that I'm a subscriber to. How to
Yes,
be less old. And you guys put out a video where your co-host came to your house and you used all your instruments of beauty on her.
I did.
And I gotta tell you, I owned all the instruments of beauty that were used except the last one, which
The
was called like
Metacube.
yeah, it was like a magic cube. It was a cube.
It's
And I
it's
immediately went to look it up. Can you, because I will do anything. Tell me about this Metacube.
okay. Yeah, that was listen, if you have what I have, you got a lot of tools in your home,
I
you
do.
know?
Hmm.
So you have to give yourself a little pause and say, "Do we need a new one?"
Right. And I'm just looking around because usually I have something here while I'm waiting. I'm just doing something. Yes.
Getting
Hmm.
something done.
Hmm.
So, the Metacube HR booster is something that I had seen uh, on TikTok, obviously, where all great
Obviously.
things start.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then I was also talking to the girls from Add to Cart, Kulop, and Suchin
Yeah.
Pak.
Yeah.
Suchin has had her eye on the Metacube HR booster. We've both been orbiting it. We
Okay.
tried to get them to send us one. They said no, but okay,
Okay.
that's tough.
That's their loss. Mhm.
Listen, so I just didn't know, do I need it? But the more I was watching it, I did. And I
Mhm.
do, and I love it.
Mhm.
So it has several modes. And as I
Uh-huh.
said to Emily, like you would be good with it because you're used to tools on your face.
Absolutely.
It's more advanced in some ways just because you need to really mind your P's and Q's, know what you're putting on. Some needs a conductor, some modes don't. It One mode I would say is arguably not good for you based on what I've seen some dermatologists talk about. So,
Okay.
it's like you got to really do your research for that one, but the booster mode is the one I use nightly
Mhm.
or in the morning depending on time. I didn't use it this morning, but you put all your actives on and then you put this collagen jelly that they sell
Of
and
course.
you
Uh-huh.
boost it into your skin and I feel like the glow is amazing.
Is this the level that when I researched it after seeing your video, is this the level that it shoots little holes into your
Yeah.
face?
Yep.
Okay.
That
Mhm.
it yes, and it pushes the ingredients in further.
Yes.
There's also an air shot mode which mimics like a micro needling effect,
Uh-huh.
and you can use that only twice a week max. You kind of just flick it across your face and it opens up all those channels, and then again, it's more of a opening effect, bigger hole,
Uh-huh.
bigger
Does it hold
holes.
does it hurt?
Well, it doesn't hurt, but you feel it. And
Mhm.
I'm really staying at level 1, level 2. I'm such a level 5 biatch in most
Yes.
things,
Yes. Uh-huh.
but I'm level 1 and 2 with this machine because it's pretty
Okay.
strong.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm interested, and I think I too am circling it
Yeah.
because I just got another tool that I cannot for the I was looking around to see if it was
Oh,
here. I can't for the life of me. I'll send it to you.
wait, you
It
got to
is
tell me.
yeah, it's shit. it's a
Lima?
mm-mm,
Lima?
it's a wand, and you do it, and it's,
Oh, solo
cold.
was.
No, it's
Oh.
cold. So you cold it's like a it's, like it's like your
Ooh.
basic, face rollers that we freeze or whatever. This,
Mhm.
you turn it on, and it gets super cold, and it's a metal
Ooh.
tip, and you're just cold
Depuffing.
depuffing the whole face. And I don't even know where I heard about it, but I was like, "Yes, let me get it." And I did immediately got it, and, yeah, I'm using it in the mornings, and it's helping with the yeah.
I love that because I do have one of those, um, icy things that are
Yes,
in my freezer. I've used it one time because it's too far downstairs. I just am never gonna make my
exactly.
way.
I'm gonna look because I believe I got this thing on Amazon, and then I told Ingrid, like, "Hey, put this thing on, like, our Amazon list of must buys." I used it first to make sure I would
Yeah.
like it. I'm gonna look and see. I'm sure that you can get it wherever. But I just did Amazon because I'm a Amazon whore, and I get everything on Amazon if I can,
Yeah.
which isn't great. I'm aware that we shouldn't
Listen,
be supporting
we
Jeff
all
Bezos, but I can't help it.
we have
Let's
our
see if I can find
opportunities
it.
in life and we have our, we gotta prioritize what makes sense at the end of the day.
Okay, it is TheraFace.
Ooh, I love
Okay,
the name.
TheraFace depuffing wand, and it's by I have another Thera product. Oh, you know what? It is made by TheraBody, which is the massage gun.
Yeah. Oh, a reputable source.
Yes, yes, TheraFace. It's $150, so it's at a lower price point than your Magic Cube,
Yep.
and it has a cold mode. I'm thinking
Magic
you need to
Cube.
review this product over on How to Be Less Old. It has a cold mode for the depuffing, and it shows you, up, 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 up,
Mhm.
out.
Up, up, up,
And
up, up.
then what it suggests you do, which I'm sure your Magic Cube does this as well, you use the hot mode and you warm your face before you put on your serums and moisturizers for absorption.
Wow.
So
Wow. Again,
there
that's opening it's all about opening these little pores up and getting as much in there as we can humanly do from the comfort of our home.
right. And I think it's gotta be similar to like a steam idea, right? Where it's yeah. It's
Yep.
and I had that steamer that you guys had over there. I was like, I have all of these products.
I love the steamer. Do you
I don't
forget to use it?
I forget to use it. It's just it's like below my sink. I don't know why I forget to use it. I'm
You
gonna use
gotta
it
put it up
today.
on the sink. Yeah, everything's up. I can't if anything's con
Down.
concealed,
Mhm.
it's not getting used. I have to literally look at it.
Yeah, okay. I'm doing it today. I'm doing it today. I'm gonna do it when I get out of the shower. I'm gonna
Love
steam.
it.
I'm gonna freeze. I'm gonna get out my Nira laser. I'm gonna laser. I'm gonna do all the things.
Nira has a new laser coming out, I believe.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
Just
But you know what?
just
I don't think I'm supposed to say that. But
okay.
anyway,
All
yeah,
right. They're
we'll
not
put that
listening.
to the side.
They're not listening here.
Yeah.
All right. That has been skincare corner with Deanna. Um, All right, Deanna, pop
Yes.
culture, let's chat. Okay, The Traitors. I know you've gotta be watching it. Can we believe that Dolo and Sandoval are the last 2 Bravo people standing?
Those 2 Nimrods.
And just it's like the Spider-Man gif of, like, it's you," they're
Yes.
pointing at each other.
So, when they we needed their votes last episode,
Yeah, we
deeply.
did. Mhm, mhm.
So to have those 2 Spider-Man gifting at each other was just I screamed at the television.
When they just the editing of it is so good, the production value of how they know who to ask at what time to build the suspense, and you're
Yeah.
just like, "Really? Like, I'm sorry, I had to vote for Dolores." I'm like, "What?" And she's the
Really?
same. She just hates him. She's like, "I'm taking up Trichelle's mantle. I'm just gonna vote for him every time." Yeah,
Yeah, it's not the best strategy, or is it? They're still there, so who knows?
that's true. But when I tell you this last episode when Danielle falls to her knees, and I was like, if that wasn't a clue to all you people who didn't and then I think that Gabby was so smart to go, "W whatever this roundtable is gonna be, it's gonna be 2 traitors trying to out each other." And she was right.
Yeah, we have to see if they can gather their minds and
this
work
week.
on Danielle. You know,
Yeah.
I love I watched her on Survivor.
Oh,
I've gotten
really?
yeah, Caroline.
Mhm.
I got into Survivor a few seasons ago.
Okay.
My little nephews were watching with my
Mhm.
sister, and so it was fun to watch with them. I
Yeah.
never watched since, like, the Richard Hatch season, I have been off of it, but
Same.
I didn't know Caroline was a sleeper.
Mhm.
She was the same exact thing where she was not being taken seriously at all and made it
Mhm.
all the way to the end.
Really?
And so I
Okay.
do think she's a smart person, and I think a lot of what she said was correct in the turret, etcetera. Um, but I will give it I can't stand Danielle, but she did do a good job last episode.
Yeah, but I don't think she's long for this world, and I think that it's going to be, I mean, really, it's gonna end up being like Dylan and Tom Sandoval at the end or just something just wild.
Dylan's good.
He's good and he's nice to look at,
Yeah,
and he's got his finger on the pulse. Yeah.
he really does.
Do you think we should have an all housewives cast of traitors? I
I'll
mean,
tell you, as you
Deanna.
say it, no, it didn't light me up. I know.
Just imagine the drama it could bring between the housewives, like, when you go to BravoCon and Andy gets them all on a stage to do these, like, massive panels, it'll be like, "Oh, we have to remember now that these 2 hate each other because of Traitors 2 seasons back," or whatever.
You know, I do as much as I don't watch the gamer shows,
Yeah,
they bring something to this. I mean, the housewives are, in general, behind, other than Phaedra.
right.
Phaedra was phenomenal, but
Phenomenal.
I don't I think we need those serious gamers to give us a good game.
Yeah. It is interesting too because a lot of people really do watch these gamer shows and don't even know these housewives, and then we're kind of the opposite, you know?
Mhm.
And I don't understand who these old British guys are that they keep throwing in the mix. Ivar, we don't understand you. Was he a reality star in Great Britain? Did they just put him on because it's in Scotland? Also put on a Scottish person? I don't get it.
Well, there have you watched other, countries?
No,
Traitors?
and I know I should, but I don't have the time. But I
You're
want
booked
to.
and blessed with
Booked and
these shows.
blessed. I know, and I want to. I want to. I
I
heard the
don't
UK one's great and the Australian one is great.
I think it's the UK. I watched so much Traitors in one Trader mukbang, and I can't
Really?
tell what I watched or who I watched, but
Okay.
they have a regular people Traitors. I think it's UK.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just people that wanna be on reality TV, right?
Yes, I mean, I would almost say they wanna do the Trader show. Like, there's no thirst behind them. They're so regular. Like,
Mhm.
Emily Derises from Amy's show, she said something like they just wanna win a bag of crisps for their mom, like, it's
Okay.
it's so basic.
Yeah, okay.
Um, but it's great. Once you
Mhm.
settle in with these people that you don't know,
Yeah.
it's great.
But I mean, a lot of our reality TV is settling in with people we don't know. We
Yeah,
don't know if he's
true.
Love is Blind, Minneapolis, Dum
So
Dums from nothing,
yeah,
you
you're
know?
really settling in with them on a daily basis. You have
Oh
between
my
Love
god.
is Blind and 90 Day Fiance, you're really settling in with them.
And these are the regulars of this world.
Yes.
The regulars. Now, Love is Blind at all? Dip in at all?
I'm caught up, yes.
You're caught up, okay.
Mhm,
So, you're caught up through episode 9.
mhm.
Okay, now a lot of people, are starting to get complaints, a little boring, whatever. When I tell you that it really ramps up at the end of 10 going into 11 and 12, it's really good.
You've seen.
I've seen it, taken the
Oh.
notes, done the episodes, and I gotta tell you,
Oh.
what we get at the end of episode 12 is because they were only supposed to be 12 and now there's 13. So I've said this on my show. We don't know. We don't know why. We don't know how they created an entirely new episode because it's going along as it's always gone along, right? We're now at the end of episode 12. We've gone into one wedding. 13 will be the weddings. But they told us initially end of 11 would be going into the weddings and 12 would be the weddings. But here, just in the last 2 weeks, they're like, by the way, 13 is the weddings. So somewhere in there, they have created another episode.
That's thrilling.
So I don't know what's happened. I know I can tell you at the end of episode 12, as we're at the end of one wedding going into the next three, it's a cliffhanger as it always is. And they've, made us think that this is going to happen, which will probably be something opposite. But I don't know. All I know is that if we don't ever see Dave's sister, what is
What is
the point
life?
of life? But we've looked her up on the Instagram, like we know what she looks like. Um, I think Dave's sister is not the monster he's made her out to be. I think she's probably just said, she's like, I don't know about you being on this reality show. And he has made it into his life story. My sister is going to disown me. And it's just not true,
Well,
I don't think.
he also said something about his mom who passed, right?
Right. Mhm.
She also had him under lock and key emotionally.
Yes.
So I think he's got like mommy issues ultimately that he's maybe transferred onto his sister.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
It's
but
something.
it's something. Well, I do believe that if we've watched this particular season of Love is Blind, the ramp up an extra episode, we've earned it because we have slogged through some
Yeah, I
basic
agree.
white people for
Yeah.
quite some time.
Yes, we have. Yes, we
Some
have.
indiscernible whites as
Mhm.
all like we have just marched through them and
Yeah.
their basic ways
Yes.
for many hours at this point.
True. All true. Mhm. All
I
true.
deserve a little juicy tidbit.
Yeah. There's yeah. Uh, yeah. Mhm. I won't do any spoilers, but yes, I will tell you I've seen it. It's good. It gets better. I love the introduction with the Sarah and Ben storyline of TikTok girl. I love the introduction of the TikTok
Oh,
girl.
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
TikTok
yeah.
girl. Because when you say TikTok girl, our ears are perked up because we know
Mhm.
what happens on TikTok.
Ever
Somebody's
you spill the beans.
spilled
Yeah.
the beans. Somebody's being exposed.
I mean, but can't you like if I went on a show like this,
Yeah.
let's say 15 years ago I went on a show like this.
Mhm.
Someone would have some dude could have something to say about me for sure, you know?
Right.
What? I don't know,
Yeah.
but someone's disgruntled.
Yeah, and I have to say my whole thing with the Lauren and Dave thing and him, being upset that she
Ugh.
went out with somebody before, my example is, okay, let's just say you're going on this show, but let's say it's a blind date, okay? So you and I, we're young and single in the city in our 30s, and as we do, we go out to a bar, we meet a guy, we hook up, maybe we have sex with him, maybe we hooked up with him 2 weeks before, maybe he's a no one's around, I'll hook up with this guy. I'm
Mhm.
30, I can do what I want. But
Absolutely.
that's a Friday night. But we know that Monday, our best friend has set us up on a blind date. Okay, we go out with this blind date on Monday night. We're like, oh my gosh, I think I've like found my person. I can't believe this blind date was so great.
Yep.
Then are you obligated to be like, hey, last Friday night I hooked up with somebody? Is he obligated? No, you didn't know him before that. You'd never seen him before. You didn't do anything wrong. Lauren didn't do anything wrong by hooking up with somebody that was literally just somebody she was sleeping with before she went on this thing. She's a young single girl. She could do what she wants.
Well, it's very misogynistic.
Yes.
It's also it feels that way. I the only kernel I'll give him,
Okay.
and it's because they all are around the same age from the same area.
Yeah.
The fact that his friends know him, he's
Mhm.
essentially in his circle adjacent, and they
Yeah.
are feeding him whatever they're feeding him. That is different than being like a completely random guy that she was hooking up with. I mean, it's not, but it feels different. I understand that it feels
Yeah.
bad to him.
I understand that it feels bad to him, but if this is the person that you want to marry, you should be taking up for them. You should be like, "Hey, don't talk about her like that. Once you meet her, you'll understand." And who care and then that guy, have you seen the TikTok stuff about him? That guy, whoever he
No.
is, he literally made his own, like, Love is Blind headshot with, like, a catchphrase. I'm looking for this, that like, just like they all have those headshots with, like, their phrase on it, like, it's almost like a Housewives tagline, it's the promo shots. He made his own, this guy, and he tried to sue the building that he lived in for his emotional distress because the Love is Blind people were filming in the building and it was a girl that he had been banging prior to her going in. Like
A
this
different person from Love is Blind?
this guy that
He's dated
Lauren
2 women from Love is Blind?
no, the guy that Lauren
Hooked up
hooked
with.
up with lived in that building where they moved the Love is Blind people
Oh, oh,
into.
oh, oh, oh.
Okay? So that guy, whoever he is, then made his own Love is Blind poster and posted it on his social media. Loser.
Loser.
And then tried to sue the building for emotional distress because the Love is Blind people were filming in his building.
Oh, I mean,
So
creative.
he's a loser, and I think that that's probably another one of Dave's problems is how could she date such a fucking loser? You know?
Well, there's that. That's an
Yeah.
angle that I hadn't thought of, you know?
But
Ugh, I mean
Lauren's not at fault here, and
oh
it's
god,
hard for me to be
no.
team Lauren because I didn't like her originally, but now I'm all in for her.
I think she's a very regular girl.
Exactly.
They all and that I don't think we've really had on Love is Blind before, such regular schmegular people.
We had a
Like
lot of, like, influencers, right? Yeah.
right, or just people that are a little eccentric or people
Mm.
who are
Mhm.
damaged, these seem
Yeah.
like fairly
Stable.
well-balanced,
Mhm.
stable humans, which is why it's been pretty boring season.
Yeah, that's a great point, Deanna. It's a great point because there's not a lot of drama there because they all have, like, normal jobs,
Yeah.
and they just wanna be in bed by 10 o'clock. Yeah.
V The conversations are just, like, about socks and,
Yeah, socks we keep going with the socks, by the way. Keep going.
running the water for peeing, and I mean, it's wow, is it dry, you know? So it's good
Okay.
to hear we have something coming for
We have
us.
something coming. Did you watch The Baldwins?
Not yet.
Okay, well, I did a full recap.
Oh,
Um,
shit.
it's on the free feed, so you don't have to subscribe. It will be on the, paid feed next week, but, episode 1, I had to take to the microphone to discuss. Now, here's a
Wow.
hot take that people aren't gonna like, is that I fully enjoyed it,
Oh, shit.
and, Kimberly, my co-host, enjoyed it as well. Yeah, and we feel we're going to
Great.
be canceled, but we did like it.
You guys are gonna be canceled for liking it?
Yeah, we're worried. We
That's
didn't
so
like it like,
funny.
"He's such a great guy, isn't it fun that he killed somebody?" We're not like that, but more like, Kimberly enjoys the chaos of a show with lots of children because she's like, "I'm single, I'm in my apartment by myself, and so maybe
Right.
it's easy for me to turn it off." So
Yeah.
she enjoys the chaos and the organization that comes with lots of children.
Cute.
Um, I was fascinated by their relationship and the amount that he has aged in the 11 years that he's been with her.
Damn. Well, these are, a tougher 11 for him. He's has
Yes.
a gang, a small army of children
Mhm.
of very young.
Yeah, 10 to
A
2.
as I said, a pile up of them. At one
Mhm.
point, one had just popped out, another one was right there, but they weren't twins. You didn't know where it came from, you know?
A
So,
surrogate, but not never
well,
explained why.
never explained. It's like you
Yeah.
say that, but we don't really know. I mean, I
No,
guess
we
we do.
didn't.
She's like a pile up of children. And so, he's tired. And then that whole situation with Rust, I have so many feelings about it.
Mhm.
Um, but ultimately, because he's a producer on the movie, is
Mhm.
almost where the biggest fault is. Because an actor being handed a weapon, you don't think to yourself, there's so many people in charge of everything.
Yeah.
Even a prop, like someone handing you need a comb in a scene.
Yeah.
It's been handed to you. You know what I mean? There's
Right.
just people in charge of it. It's not your job
Right.
to look in. You just would never think it would be loaded. It's insane.
Well,
So,
that's what Kimberly said, that with the trial and everything, that it wasn't because he was an actor and for the
yeah.
shooting, it was because he was the producer, and the buck stops with the producer. Yeah.
And it seems like there was a lot of things that were going wrong with the production and the safety aspect of the production
Yep.
on that. So that is why I think he's being held accountable, but it sets a very weird precedent for actors, I will say, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and the armorist or the person in charge of the is in jail for 18 months. And, he, of course, was found not guilty, but it was really like they just had to throw the case out, mistrial because of prosecutorial misconduct. They
Oh,
had
wow.
I watched it. They had, mislabeled a bunch of ammo. The police, when they came and gathered it, they mislabeled it and literally put it in the wrong case number. So when the prosecution gets up to say, "Okay, we're gonna put into evidence blah, blah, blah," defense is like, "We don't have that. That's not on our list. We've never seen it. We don't know it." It was completely listed with a different case number. So the defense had no access to it. So the whole thing was thrown out.
A poor I mean, I'm just taking in, to have a DP that's a female, whew, I'm starting to get like, so upsetting what happened to her,
Yeah.
and the fact that this is also bumbled is, like, making me irate right now,
Yeah.
I
I mean,
just
one
feel
person
for
did go to
her.
jail, but it the whole thing was they talk a lot about it. So I'm like, "Okay, so we're
They
head on.
do.
We're talking,"
Okay.
because it's 2 weeks before the trial when they start filming.
Huh.
And it's like he it's all about, like, how they're like, he's trying to spend time with the kids because he doesn't know if he's gonna be going away. And I gotta say that I'm not a fan of Hillary. I'm not a fan, or I'm not a fan. I don't know. I don't care. I
I
think
have feel yeah.
it's fat. She's fascinating in that she's created this entire mystery about herself, that she's from Spain, how you say cucumber, da da da, and they skirt right past it. They talk about it, but
They do?
it's skirted.
We're breezing past the cucumber of it
Sh
all.
She says she grew up in a bilingual home, her children are growing up in a bilingual home, and yeah, it's hurtful to her when people say things because, of course, if you are fluent in 2 languages, of course, you're sometimes going to get them confused. That's called being normal, not inauthentic. Well, okay, she did really intimate that she moved to New York at age 19 from Spain, and she's been, like, on Vogue Spain's
Yes.
Women of the Year and never corrected anybody that she's not a
Oh,
Spanish American woman, she's just from Boston. So, um, that is skirted past. Now I hope we're gonna circle back, but maybe not.
they're producers on the show, I have to imagine, right?
They are, and I looked that up to confirm. There are, like, 25 producers, but they are listed way down, so you don't notice it right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, yeah,
Way
yeah.
down. Way down on the IMDb, but yet still there. Okay, well, when you watch it, please,
Okay.
text me and give me your thoughts and say you've lost your mind and why did you like it? Okay?
Mm.
Yeah.
Listen, I find Alec attractive, even in
Mhm,
his diminished state.
mhm.
Um,
Yes.
I always have throughout the
Same.
years, even when he's punching out reporters, etc.
Fine.
So, and I enjoy listening to him speak. I think he's a very engaging person and very talented.
Very smart, I think.
Yeah. So I'm not surprised that it's an interesting show because he's an interesting person.
Mhm.
He's one of Long Island's best.
I agree with all of that. So, yeah, and I think they're trying to make it a little, like, wacky, like this, husband, wife, like, he doesn't listen to her, and so she bought 4 cats even though he literally has to be hospitalized for his cat allergy. She
Damn.
continues to buy cats because she doesn't care. Um,
Mm.
I'm
Weird.
upset by the amount of shoes by the door and why they don't have cubby holes with each kid's name on them, like, that
Yeah.
would be an easy fix for that tripping hazard. So,
Yeah.
alright.
Okay.
Um, White Lotus, I've only watched episode 1.
Me
Um,
too.
I am very into all the TikToks that are coming out with all the symbolism and stuff. That's what we love about White Lotus.
Okay.
Love it.
Good.
All the symbolism of all the things. And quick last pop culture thought was I'd like to know your thoughts on Blake and Ryan attending SNL's 50th.
Gosh, It's I have a friend in PR who has said many, many times that do nothing. That's
Yeah.
her
Uh-huh.
approach.
It'll go away.
It wasn't I my thought is his arrogance
Mm. Is
is
driving the boat.
driving it.
Mhm.
And so it's such a fall from grace. It is just whiplash. I mean, there's like 6 people making money in movies. He's one
Mm.
of them.
Yeah, you're right. Great point.
And
Mhm.
so, gosh, he was untouchable. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah, I do.
he was just hit after hit after hit. Nothing he did was wrong. Their relationship was so cute from a distance, you know?
Yeah, they, like, banter on Instagram and stuff, and they've got the 4 kids, and they live,
Yeah.
outside of New York and, yeah, all that. Mhm.
It felt very organic and normal and like they made no missteps, you know?
Yes, right, right. Mhm.
So, whoa, is this arrogant? And I think she's arrogant as well. I think she's full of herself. That's the phrase that keeps coming up for me around her, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
With that said, I did make a TikTok about my time as an extra on Gossip Girl and bearing witness to her.
Is this under Deanna M. Cheng, or is it How to Be
No,
Less
it's
Old?
under actually the Montage Queen
The
is
monta
where
okay,
yeah,
I'm writing it down so I can go
okay.
directly to that. Okay, yes,
Where I
uh-huh.
gave her props because, I did several episodes of background work, one where I was more featured in it, and
Mhm.
so when I was in New York, it's the only time I did extra work, but you sit there, you get to watch these people, like, that's
Yeah,
what your job is,
yeah.
really,
Mhm.
and so Taylor Momsen,
Okay.
she was on that show.
Mhm.
Very dark eyeliner, r ratty blonde hair.
Uh-huh.
She went on to be, like, a musician, I believe.
Yes, I know yes, yes, I know she looks like the girl playing the younger Juliette Lewis on, Yellow Jackets. Got it in my
Okay.
mind. Yes, got it.
That child, I've
Mhm.
never experienced anything like that in my life. She was
Her, Taylor.
so Taylor, she was so rotted.
She's just an asshole.
Ooh, like,
Okay.
ooh,
Yeah.
barking orders, embarrassing crew member I mean, it was shocking,
And do
shocking.
you reveal this on your TikTok?
I
An
don't say
expose.
her name. I don't say
Oh,
her name, actually. I'm saying it here, exclusive, Pink Shade
exclusive.
exclusive.
Yes.
Um, but in so but Blake was lovely to everybody from my point of view. I
Okay.
thought, like, she seemed to have a really nice, easy relationship with the crew members, chatting comfortably. She
Mhm.
seemed like a star and very lovely, and so that was my take, you know?
Okay. Alright. Okay.
But all to say, I think he was totally wrong for himself. Like, fine, go do that on SNL, but you didn't do yourself any favors. You didn't
Mm-mm.
win a single point. In fact, you lost a few because it wasn't the time.
By the way, it's not about you, and, he also used to be married to Scarlett Johansson, who's there to celebrate her husband, and also she was on the show.
I mean, maybe she thought it would be good for him. Who knows? Those types of people are so high up in the stratosphere. I don't know if anyone is able to tell them anything, you know?
They obviously don't have a crisis PR team who would say, "This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. Lay low. Get pictures of yourself at the market with your children, at the playground with
Right.
your children. Make yourself look more relatable that this is easy breezy, doesn't bother you because you're not that Hollywood person. You're the gal going to the music together class with your toddler." That's what they needed to be doing.
Totally.
Mhm.
Totally. I mean, sometimes people do things like that and it works,
Mm.
I just don't think this was one of those times.
I did send Casey Wilson the picture that I sent you where I got her just her little picture of her head peeking out behind when
Yes.
somebody was talking. I sent it to her and she was like, "Great catch. So glad you saw me." And then on our local news, because Casey is a local gal here
Mhm.
to where I'm from, on our local news after the show, it was just "Oh, tonight, did everybody catch this?" And they were just showing clips of the show, as the guy
Right.
was talking. And there was Casey like on the red carpet hugging, I think it was either Molly Shannon. I think it was Molly Shannon. And it was just random. And I literally stopped my television as I do, rewound it, got my phone out, recorded my television like a real elder, and sent it to her. And she was so glad. She was like, "That's like the only picture I saw of myself on the red carpet." She was
Oh,
like, "Thank
that's
you." Yeah.
good. Thank you,
Yeah.
Alexandria.
Thank you, Alexandria, for representing. And then I couldn't wait to listen to Bitch Sesh to hear
Oh.
the talk that was going to be all about her experience, and thrilled that my friend Deanna was on, because these are my gals. I can listen. And then it was a robot voice of Casey because she blew her voice out apparently. It was
Could
a
you
robot
even
voice that
stand
was
it?
very upsetting.
I I will tell you that episode is sweeping the nation. It is. I've never had more people reach out from an episode of a podcast before. Richard the robot moved the needle.
It was crazy. So,
It
guys,
was
so
crazy.
Casey was typing into the computer, and then a robot voice was saying what she was saying. And while Danielle, the co-host of the show, was talking to Deanna, and you never knew when that robot voice was gonna come on and jar you.
It
It was hilarious. It
was
was hilarious.
so funny. After we wrapped it up, I texted I miss Richard because I did, because he really, at some point, probably about 15 minutes into the episode, Casey fell back. Like, I was no longer thinking about her. I was
Oh,
thinking about Richard.
okay.
He came
Mhm.
forward, so it was crazy.
And whoever was the female voice that she tried out sounded like
Karen
Karen was like on a with like the Karen we know, like drunk, making no sense.
making no sense at all.
Talking real slow. We're like, "What happened to Karen?" Karen's Somebody hurt Karen because it wasn't
Yeah.
good.
So apparently you can upgrade to get a
Ooh,
better voice. And Casey wasn't willing to do that. And I was like, wow, they really figured out how to get you to upgrade, because that voice for the female was wild.
I don't know what it would have cost, but she should have upgraded. But hopefully she's feeling better. Um,
She is. It's lifted.
okay,
She's
good.
back.
Woo! Um, okay, so let's chat
Okay.
about, Beverly Hills. Okay, so Beverly Hills this week, I just watched it this morning. Caftans and Caspia and caviar. Now, 2 of those things I knew what they were, and they are caftans and caviar. Caspia, not understanding what that means.
Well, that's the name of the restaurant.
Right. And is Caspia a restaurant in Paris, or is it in Beverly Hills?
It's definitely in Beverly Hills. Maybe there's another one in Paris.
Yeah, because they were constantly talking about this party in Paris, and then on the sign outside the door, it said Caspia Paris, 1977 or whatever, and I was like, "Did
Hmm.
she get a sign made for a different restaurant, or
Oof.
is it a restaurant in Beverly Hills?" I was confused.
I didn't I let that wash right, the Caspi of it all,
Mhm.
wash right over me.
It wasn't a Beverly Hills restaurant you've been to.
No, my gosh, I know nothing about caviar, truly. I
Me
think I've
either.
had it once or twice. I mean, I feel like I haven't had the caviar that people go crazy for, because I don't get it.
I don't either. It's
I
gross, I
I have
think.
to imagine it's, good sometimes at some places, but I haven't experienced it.
I haven't either, and I didn't I first of all, I don't like fish at all, but I have
Oh,
one time, like, caviar has come on top of something, and I'm like, "Okay, well, I have to eat it just in case, like, maybe I am a caviar girl, and I just didn't know."
yeah.
But I'm not. I don't
No.
salty, Um, so anyway, this is a rich person thing. There were lots of rich people there that when I have time, I'm gonna look up every single one of them. Do you have any insight into those rich people besides Faye Resnick and Kathy Hilton?
No, but I loved them because there were a few that were just in the shots as the Dorit and Sutton thing was going down, and they looked like they were having the time of their lives, laughing, giggling, and they
Yeah.
just added something,
Yeah.
a
And they
nice
said their
texture.
full names on the screen, so I was like, "Okay, they're trying to give us a message that this is the creme de la creme of rich Beverly Hills people."
Wow. Well, I enjoyed them, whoever they were.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed, like, someone posted a clip of, I guess it's maybe season 1 of Beverly Hills when, who lived across the street from Lisa Vanderpump with the
Oh,
tinsel in her hair?
Adrienne Maloof. Yeah.
Adrienne, like, was marching across from her gate
Yeah.
across the street to Lisa's gate that opened, and I'm like,
Yes.
we are
Yes.
just so far away from, like, gates these days, and
Yeah.
I just feel like Tilly brought in some rich bitch vibes that we've been sorely missing.
I agree. And last night, Jennifer Tilly and Crystal, another really rich person, were on Watch What Happens Live. And
Okay.
Jennifer Tilly would say something, and Crystal would go, "That's just so rich." Like, I mean, even Crystal, and Crystal said at one point about something, and she goes, "Well, something, something." She goes, "Well, I mean, I have money, so I'm fine." Like, she even, like, referred to herself as having money, but, like, it's nothing like the Simpsons money that Jennifer Tilly has,
Wow. God bless.
or the $300,000 a month money that Sutton gets from her ex-husband. God
You
bless.
have you seen I've seen, like, several little posts saying that the girls do not like Jennifer Tilly, and I just feel like
How?
I don't know, she's been nothing but delightful on the show. So,
Easy breezy.
easy breezy and just bringing a nice flavor to the table.
Yeah, I love her. I will say Sutton and her wallet comment, was shocking to everyone, including Jennifer Tilly, and on Watch What Happens Live, she said, "In the moment, Sutton really regretted it," and Crystal goes, "No, she doubled down in her confessionals," and she goes, "She did. She doubled down in her confessionals because that was shot later," and she goes, "And also in the after show, she also doubled down, but in the moment,
In the
she
moment.
regretted it," and, she said, literally, she was saying to me, "Oh gosh, I feel terrible. Should I give Dorit my Kelly bag? Should I give Dorit my $20,000 handbag? Should I just take out my lipstick and my phone and just give her my purse?" Which also probably wouldn't have helped the
Mm,
situation. I
mm.
didn't like this. I
Dorit
do li
would have taken it.
Oh, well, yeah, 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 me too,
Yeah,
by the way. I
yeah.
would have put that shit on the real so fast. But I I really love Sutton. I really
Mhm.
do, and I didn't love this from her, but I didn't hate it either.
Listen, ugh, Sutton did not win that argument.
No, no.
She sat down with herself and did a to-do like a list of what do I have? What does she have? How can I get her back? And the one thing she figured out was money.
Right, 'cause we were led to believe Dorit had a lot of money, and it's all been a facade.
Yeah, and I think like it just didn't land, but and it was ended up being lame. It's like if you're going to go down that road, you do it in a way that's under the surface.
N n Not so direct. She could have made a comment about a purse or something
Yes.
that would make you understand, you
Yes.
know? Yeah. But what do you feel about, Dorit's potty mouth? I mean, she's just throwing out the C word. She is just woo!
I don't mind it. I am enjoying it for some reason. I know that most have turned underrated at this point in the show, but I don't
It was
know.
bound
I'm
to
kind of
happen. Bound to
getting a
happen.
laugh. Is
She's
she
she's
handled the fight quite well, I thought, like
After Sutton said that, I mean, obviously, she's going to be the winner of that fight because of what Sutton said was so egregious.
right.
I mean, when they did the that they do whenever anybody lands a zinger,
A singer.
it was
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh."
Yep.
I mean, even the really
Every
rich ladies were stunned.
Yeah. And the other thing is you've got Erica who's lost all her money.
Right.
It's tough. It's not people took hits and the audience took hits.
Yeah. Still haven't turned on Sutton. What do you think about, Boz and her fake baby journey with a man who has never said he loved her, and she's had some serious health repercussions from even being pregnant. I think it's a fake storyline, and
Mm.
I don't like it.
Hmm. I can get with that.
Mhm.
I also think that she is at the top she's the kind of woman who's at the top of her game in business,
Mhm.
and it doesn't translate to personal life.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and I don't I think that can happen.
Of course.
I've been listening to him,
Mhm.
and a few episodes ago, maybe towards the beginning, what he really spoke about liking about her is, like, their power dynamic together, and she was like, "And that I'm beautiful." And then he had
Mm.
to kinda say. So, I think this guy likes what she brings to the table for
Mhm.
him, but do
Mm.
I think he's in love with her? I don't.
Mm-mm.
And I don't know that she's in love with him. I think she's approaching this like a business, and she's missing an emotional piece to it.
Yeah, she's like, "I know he really wants to have a baby." I'm like,
Right.
"Okay, well, there's lots of ways to have a baby if you have the money, so why are you trying to go this route?"
Yeah, that's a good point. Like this, if a
Yeah,
surrogate ever were to be needed, it's in this moment right here.
yeah. I mean,
So
she's still got some eggs left, they found out.
she did.
So, harvest those babies and see what happens, but I think that what she said last episode was more telling and that she's like, "Do I really wanna do this? Does he really wanna do this? Or is one of us just not saying that we kinda don't wanna do this?" Conversations need to be had if you're going to have a baby together.
She's definitely trying to move this along because
Mhm.
I think he checks off boxes, and she said she goes at love full speed. He
Yeah,
seems like a decent person. I just don't think he's that into her,
I don't either.
and I don't like it. I mean, I want someone to get real with her.
Yeah, and I think that, they try to say, like, "He's not saying he loves you," and she's like, "Well, I'm proceeding as if he will say I love you. So I'm proceeding in that
Wild.
way." No. No,
Not with
for
this.
somebody who's so good in business, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I do enjoy her though, I will say.
I think she adds a lot, and I think that she's not a first season housewife that just is kinda sits back and kinda she's just jumping right in, and maybe she's
Yeah.
hitched her horse to the wrong wagon with Dorit, time will tell.
I think they have a lovely friendship. I in every show, like in New York as well, I just want more of their business. Uh, I want more segments on the business, on the thought process, on Jenna Lyons and her,
Yeah.
you know, her company that she's working with, where like it's an offshoot of BlackRock. Like I want
Mhm.
all of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, when you see Jenna Lyons, like, working and she's doing photo shoots and she's styling things, you're like, "This is what we wanna
Yes.
see. This is, like, why we know her." Yeah.
I would much rather that than her trying to pull together this. It's fine if the baby storyline is real for her. I think it might be because I think she's pushing this in her life because she doesn't have confidence.
Bows.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
really, what I want to hear about is all of her insane jobs and moments that
Yeah.
happened and all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, Now, next week or kind of at the end of this episode, we see this whole bit about Mauricio and Kyle and him, being filmed at wherever he was in Brazil or whatever, hugging this, bathing suited woman in the airport. I think that Sutton makes a pretty good point that maybe he planned this because she's like, "I've been in this airport with Jennifer Aniston, and there were not paparazzi there." So they're not just going to this like, either the girl called the paparazzi or he did to try to get back at Kyle because of the Morgan Wade of it all. Thoughts?
They made a point. It seems like they have such an amicable vibe going between
Mhm,
them that I find it so odd that
mhm.
I don't think it makes him look good.
I think that, I really liked when she's meeting with her British therapist who said first of all, that she admitted that she didn't have good role models for marriage as the only negative thing she's ever said about Big Kathy, who we all
Oh,
know is a
wow.
monster, and when she
Wow.
said that, I was like, "Okay, maybe she's maybe starting to realize, like, her mom wasn't the best, and maybe it was dysfunctional, and maybe she was, kind of trained by her mom to, like, land this guy."
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
the guy is the thing that's gonna make your life, and as an adult, she's realizing, like, "Hey, I don't need to, like, depend on a man for my happiness," kind of thing, and it was interesting too that she said, "What if she moves on and then he wants to come back?" You know, so she is hoping that's going to
That
happen.
I think I've needed this from her
Mhm,
because we've gotten so little of her emotional state with Mo and the
mhm.
divorce. I
Yeah,
think that sounded so real and, like, relatable that
yeah,
is what she's holding on to, and
totally.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I think it'll be interesting about that next week. Next week also, we're gonna see, Martin Lawrence Bullard is gonna be back. We're gonna see the home remodel reveal, which I'm very excited about.
me too.
And I love that her mom's gonna come in town and immediately start tearing it apart. Um, Great.
These
And,
Southern moms, they're really giving us a run for our money.
well, welcome to my life.
It's a
Welcome.
lot.
Welcome to the life of a daughter of a Southern mom. It's rough.
Wow. Oof.
Uh, she's not listening, don't worry. So Potomac, let's talk about Potomac.
Okay.
The reunion. Okay. So what we're getting next week is going to be great. Um, because we're going to finally get the whole thing of what we have heard is the story is that Happy Eddie FaceTimes TJ, "Hey, man, why aren't you here?" And apparently TJ says, "Because, the check didn't clear or she didn't send me the check." Thoughts?
I live and breathe for Stacey. I've been on the record saying as much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
She is just such a killer first season housewife. I just find her delightful to watch.
She really leaned in at the end and really got in the mix. Yeah.
She's had I mean, what a first reunion.
Mhm. Mhm. So
So,
good.
whatever it is, I'm
Mhm.
open.
Yeah. I'm
I'm open.
excited. And I just love the whole with, whose name just went out of my mind, Wendy,
TJ,
Dr. Wendy.
Dr.
When
Wendy.
Dr. Wendy is like, "Huh? What? What?" And they're all going, "Huh?"
Oh,
And you see all, like, the PAs and the
yeah.
producers, everybody in the back, they're all scurrying around, like, getting their papers in order, and they all just stop in their tracks. "What? Huh?" Because there was a camera backstage filming Happy Eddie on the phone with TJ, so somebody on the floor had gotten info, and then he's texting her. So production is like, "Oh god," you know, because they probably watch it for the
Wow.
control room. So I can't wait for this reveal. Can't wait.
And I've enjoyed the hell out of these last 2 reunions. They have hit this balance, and I do give Stacey credit for some of this
Mhm.
because her energy is so quirky and light. Like, not light, but just she adds just a funny, like, almost like a she adds a funny element to the show,
'Cause
and
she seems a little clueless.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. They're hitting this vibe where they're getting serious stuff said, but
Mhm.
they're laughing all the time, and that's like a perfect sweet spot for housewives.
So what do you think about this whole so Mia storms off once and then comes back, and then she apparently is going to storm off again, but I think rightly talking about the situation with her kids, like, they just went in, they were like, "You're putting this on national television that you don't know the paternity of your child when all along you knew it's Gordon's baby," and she's like, "Well, I didn't know," and they go, "Wait, didn't you, do IVF?" And she
That
goes,
was
"Yeah,
shocking.
that was" talking
Shocking.
about bury the lead.
Wow,
When they go, "Didn't you do IVF?" She goes, "Yeah," and they go, "So you know whose sperm was in that t" and she goes, "I could have been pregnant when I went in."
babe,
And then
please.
so, having not done IVF, I was like, "Oh, maybe that's true." And then they all go, "Uh-uh. No, they do a pregnancy test on you before." And she goes, "Well, maybe it was too early." I was like, "Stop.
Stop.
Stop. So much stop. You're just"
That was bad.
and then she's like, "I'm
Yeah,
just gonna storm off." And they're like, "Okay, go ahead. Bye-bye."
nobody ran after her.
Mm-mm.
Not even Jacqueline, right? I don't think so.
No, Jacqueline is now with child and not by PP, which she called him, like, Peter Parent, whatever she called him.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was and then it was like, "Good to see you, Jacqueline. Bye-bye." And then we have Kay and her guy, which I don't feel like I know Kay at all.
I
I'm just
like Kay.
I don't dislike her. I just feel like I don't know anything about her.
Really? Well, yeah, I guess that's true. I just think right, she hasn't busted in like a Stacy who
Right.
demands our attention.
Correct.
Yeah, I just do think she's just adorable,
She
so
is.
there's
True.
that, and she's just got easy energy on the show, but
Yeah.
we do need to squeeze a little more out of her, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. And then what's interesting, so they do talk about Giselle and her man Namsis that we saw on the season, and then also Ashley, who is with Josh is his name.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, both of these women are on the new Love Hotel that's coming up, but yet they seem to have boyfriends. Hmm.
Oh, huh.
Huh.
Hmm.
Would you just put that
Mm.
in the blender and think about it for a sec?
I
Because
will be thinking about that.
yeah, so will Love Hotel be a shit show? Will Shannon be horrible? Um,
Forgot all about it. When are we getting that?
they keep just saying coming in March,
Coming in March.
but they're
Oh,
not giving
well,
us a date.
okay. It's coming. Oh, I'm scared. It's too close.
Coming in March, and guess what? I can't take on another show. So
We gotta close some of these shows up first,
yeah,
really and
yeah.
truly.
I am interested though, but it is interesting that like it was very specifically talking about Giselle. Are you still dating Namsis? Talking about
Right.
Ashley. Are you
Huh.
still dating Josh? Da da da. But yet the two of them are on Love Hotel.
Maybe it's they're not, yeah, that's weird.
Hmm. Seems like somebody production would have cross checked that.
You would think.
Um, Now Southern Charm. I'm loving the season. I really love Molly. Okay, so Molly is the former
Mhm,
supermodel.
okay.
She was on America's Next Top Model.
Oh, didn't know that.
She's the one that went to dinner at Patricia's, and Whitney told her to put down her cupcake. Um,
He's so dark-sided.
Look inward, Whitney.
I hate the feelings I have around Whitney are not okay. Like, I think he is a bad person.
Mhm. Allegedly, that's your opinion, yes?
That is my opinion.
Mhm.
Trademark stamp it, Deanna M. Cheng thinks Whitney is
Esquire. Yeah.
a
Mhm,
bad human being. I wouldn't be alone in a room with him. I don't like
mhm,
that dude.
mhm. If you had to
That's all.
choose Whitney or the bear, you choose the bear. Mm.
No, because I could take Whitney. You know?
Yeah, he'd be 4 bourbons and 6 Xanax in, and
Yeah,
you
like,
could
I
just
could
take him
take him.
down. Yeah, that's a great point. I really love Molly, but what I don't like about Molly is how she's sorta like, "Yeah, I mean, I don't understand, like, Whitney, like, we went on a date, like, why doesn't he like me? Molly, you're better than that." And he only dates 22-year-olds. And also on this last episode regarding Shep and, the girl that doesn't like him, with Shep, she's like, "I mean, I don't understand why he doesn't wanna date me." I'm like, "Molly,
Molly.
you don't need to date Shep or Whitney.
But
You're
here's the
better than both
thing,
of them."
Mary
Yeah.
Payne, this is the problem with this show, or it's the conceit of the show, however you wanna look at it. These girls have to date one of them because the boys run the show.
Mhm.
So, they are the liaisons onto the show. Molly can't just hang out without having an interest in one of the guys,
Okay. I'm seeing what you're saying. Yeah. I think that's right. Okay,
you know?
that's too bad. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Taylor is back this season, even though she's no longer dating Shep, but she is like watching paint dry. She has terrible style. She's not a girl's girl, and I don't like the word art in her beach themed house.
Hilarious. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
sort of neutral for me. I don't, I don't know. I don't mind her for whatever reason.
Okay.
Um, I love Madison. She's just delightful to
She's a
watch.
star. She's a
She's a
star.
goddamn star.
Everything she says is funny. And
Yes,
I loved her SpawnCon hashtag ad for her pregnancy announcement.
so good.
I love when they do that. I'm like, "Yes, girl, get that
Yeah.
money."
Mhm.
I love how she talks out of the side of her mouth.
Mhm.
I love her body.
Yeah.
I love her hot
Hair.
husband and her cute son and her hair,
Yeah. It's
all of
all
it.
working.
If I went if I lived there in Charleston, I would want her to do my hair because I feel like
Ugh,
even though obviously my looks are not up to hers, I think that she would make me
that's
feel
not
like
that.
a a beauty queen even though I'm not one. I feel like she would be
Well,
very girl's girl.
I disagree, but we
Oh,
will have
okay.
to, have our differences on this program. Um,
Okay.
I
Okay.
think you are a beauty queen, but I do think she knows glamour. I mean, the girl turns it out.
Yeah. Yeah. She worked very hard on that body too, so it doesn't come naturally. I think she works hard for it in the gym, and she also, got new teeth and was like, "I don't care if you don't like my new teeth," you know? "I don't care
Okay.
if you don't like my upper cleft. It's for me, it's not for you. I don't care if you don't like my butt implant or whatever."
Oh
And I like
wow.
all that about her. I do.
Yeah, I've just accepted all of it as it was from Jesus, but however she's gotten it is good with me.
Yeah, love her. Now,
Chef.
are you watching Southern Hospitality? I've
Wait a
never
minute.
watched
Hold
it.
on.
What?
Mary Payne.
What?
We're not going to talk about Shep because it's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Oh, no, 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 I'm getting to Shep.
Okay,
I
great. I
need to
was scared. I was like, wait, we can't gloss over the best part of the show.
no,
Okay.
no, 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 we're
Yeah.
getting to Shep. The reason I'm asking about Southern Hospitality is because Sally people have told me now she was on Southern Hospitality as, like, wait staff, and I'm like, "She led us to believe, like, she's huge in medical sales, makes 6 figures, bought her
Yeah.
own house, so why is she a server on Southern Hospitality as well?"
Maybe to get on the show.
And that was her entree?
I haven't given her that much thought or time, but
Mhm.
she might just enjoy, yeah, like I do
Okay.
like that she makes all that money. I got to tell you.
Well, me too. But
Yeah,
yeah, I was just wondering because I haven't found anybody that watched Southern Hospitality that could give me the scoop.
I don't have it.
Sorry, damn. All right, Shep, that's what we're getting to.
Shep.
Okay, what's that girl's name that he loves that doesn't love him back? Your beautiful freckle face.
Beautiful
Um,
freckle face.
mhm.
Oh God, Sienna.
Sienna,
Sienna.
Miss Bahamas.
Wow.
Okay. So she has come out with receipts saying Whitney
Oh,
reached out to her on Raya. She did not reach
right.
out to him. And, even she could see that he's like a Dracula vampire and does not yeah. She showed her receipts. She said,
Good.
"No, no."
Thank
Um,
you.
she doesn't like Shep. She thought it'd be fun to be on the show a couple episodes,
Sure.
and she's 20 years younger than him,
Oh
uh,
God.
and is accomplished and doesn't need it. Now, this behavior from Shep is so out of character, and
Ugh.
the text message that he read with pride more than once, and both times I thought Austin was gonna throw up onto his own shirt. He was like, "You why would you send that without checking with someone?" And then he reads it a second time, and Craig is doing Jim from The Office looking right at the camera, like, "Oh, no." It was so good, Deanna. So
It
good.
was. I think it's just for women everywhere. You know. Listen. He's been so terrible to women,
Yeah.
and to see an aging
Mhm.
Southern dandy
Uh-huh.
hit the point in his life
Mhm.
where he's wondering what the
Mhm.
next 10, 20 look like, and it doesn't look good, and he's grasping at branches and
Mhm.
attempting to secure someone who is no interest in him and think that his old time ways are going to work. You're
Mhm.
not 25, baby. You're not 30, baby. It's over and it don't work. So I am just so like I'm just enjoying it's savoring every morsel of
I agree.
this.
I could not agree with you more, and it's too bad that we want the downfall of Shep, and I don't want the downfall, but I will say that, I was at that BravoCon where he acted
Oh.
so horrible, and I was at BravoCon the year before where he groped me. I have
What?
I'll send you the photos later. People on this podcast have heard it. They don't want to hear it again. BravoCon in New York the year before, the Vegas one,
Yeah.
I he was in the bar where I was. I just went up. There's these young ladies that were like, "Oh my god, is that Shep?" And I'd had just enough drinks to be like, "Oh, do you want to meet him? I'll go over there." So I go over there. I'm like,
You
"Hey, Shep,
did.
like these young ladies want to meet you." Like not for myself. I could give a shit.
I got it.
And I had met Austin earlier. That was all I needed. And and the girls came up, and he was like, "You need a picture?" I was like, "Sure." But when I tell you, he was laying down in a booth when I approached him, laying down. He's well over 6 feet tall, laying down in a booth and just like rattled himself up. Got a picture with these girls. Got a picture with me, and I have like a series of photos of him like all over me. And I'm an elderly lady, in his mind, I'm 10 years older than him, but I may as well be 100. But those
And he
girls,
he's he got you.
oh, he got me. Mhm.
I
Yeah. How old? I'm looking up his age. How old is Shep
feel like he's gotta
Rose?
be 43 bare
Let's guess.
minimum.
Okay, you're gonna say 43. He is 44 years old. He was born in 1980. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think his family is
Wow.
embarrassed when they see him on television? Because he comes from wealth, mailbox money, as it was.
Hmm. I mean, this is just they probably helped create this. Um, it's
True.
not aging well, and I am enjoying that very much. The amount of shit women have to take,
Yeah.
sorry, baby. You're taking it. It is goofy. You look a fool,
Yep.
and I love every second of it. Thank you. Bravo.
Thank you. Um, and lastly, as we wrap up, did you hear my sweet little Craigie mention a 90 Day Fiance?
I thought of you immediately,
Thank you.
obviously.
Thank you.
I
It
was like,
gave me a jolt in my loins. If I didn't love him before, when he said, I've watched enough 90 Day Fiance to know she doesn't like him, I was like, well, it has nothing to do with 90 Day Fiance, but thank you for bringing it up. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, great point. I
Mhm.
accepted it radically as having something to do with 90 Day Fiance, but it doesn't. Um, but yeah, it was really nice for you for that
It
that to come
was.
out of his mouth and to bridge those gaps and to have worlds just colliding like that. It was nice.
Everything always comes back to Bravo, and in this case, everything came back to 90 Day Fiance. But it's so funny because if, Shep wants to live this dream where they did all these flashbacks of him saying, "I'll be living on a beach somewhere, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah.
Well, you're not, but, unless you're just gonna be the beach of Charleston, but if he wanted to live that life and have these babies with her, he would
Yeah.
have to get a spousal visa to move over to be with her. She's not trying to come to America, and
Wow.
that's probably tough for him as well, you know?
He's so far from planet Earth with this girl that
He's like, "I'm in
God,
love with you," and she's like,
she's like,
thanks.
"Hmm, that's odd,
Interesting, odd, it's weird since
odd.
we've seen each other 4 times, and I
I've
don't know
ignored the
you."
last 20 texts you've sent."
Mhm,
You
and
know,
yet you're here. That's
and yet
right.
here you are with everyone. You brought all of them, and I'm just gonna keep my head held high, look gorgeous, and saunter through these scenes
Mhm,
with as
see you
much dignity as I can muster, and then bounce out
I
of your
didn't
life.
I will say I didn't like that Craig said when she came in, like, she brought this, like, bad energy, and I felt so weird, and I was like, "It's because she doesn't want to be there with Shep. She probably would like to hang out with you guys." But I didn't like how Craig was like, "No, if Shep's not coming to the fish fry, she can't come, blah, blah, blah." I was like, "Why are you blaming her? Do you see what he sent
No,
her?"
I mean, definitely not, but no. With that said, your friend has been talking your ear off about how in love they are with this girl, and, like, he clocked it immediately.
She doesn't like him.
She doesn't like him. The
And they were like, "She doesn't
charms
like you," and they're telling him flat out, "She doesn't like you, and you're making a fool of yourself," and he still doesn't care.
It's really fun, and I love Madison and Taylor just laughing in his face. It's fun. Thank you. Sorry.
I think Taylor's like, "Karma is a bitch."
It's fun for her to watch.
It is, and I don't enjoy her at all, but I'm happy for her in this
Yes,
situation.
yes. I mean, Madison just like, "Ha ha," they're in his face laughing.
I love
So
again,
good.
again, you think Madison's not a girl's girl, I think she is, I love her.
Oh, I didn't say that. Who said
Mm,
that?
you just said
Oh,
well, you think she
Madison's
wouldn't
not a girl's girl?
yeah, you don't think if I went to her salon and was getting my hair
No!
done that she would be
Oh,
pro
oh, okay. What
me?
no, what I was saying I didn't agree with is that you were saying you're not a beauty queen. I was disagreeing with that. I
No,
said you are beauty.
I'm saying that just as a regular gal going
I
into her salon,
understand.
I think she would make you feel like
I
you were just
agree.
incredibly beautiful.
No, I would do anything to get my hair big by her and just sit there and just feel glamorized. I'm with
Yeah.
you 1,000%.
Okay, good. Okay, because I was like,
Yes.
"You don't think that she would be like that?"
I do think she would be like I think it'd be a blast, and I think she'd
Yeah,
pour you a little bubbly of something, and we'd
yeah.
have a time.
Speaking of, Craig, has said that, he doesn't drink anymore at all, but
Okay.
he sure was a drinking on this trip.
Oh,
I saw a beer, I saw a champagne, and I saw Shep also not sticking to his beer-only diet. So,
yeah.
maybe things are gonna go off the rails next week.
I can't wait. I am enjoying Southern Charm.
I am too. You guys get on board. Anything else? Oh, one last thing. Speaking of Southern Charm, did you enjoy that Mike White said yes, he did base the Parker Posey family on people on Southern Charm
Yeah, he's a reality show devotee. I mean,
and
he's
alum himself.
alum. Thank
Yeah.
you. That's really the word. So it made sense. It's crazy to have such high art and low art clash
Yeah, it all comes back to Bravo, always is what I'm saying.
always. And
It
I think
yeah,
that actor's phenomenal. I don't know him.
I don't either. He's good.
He's so good. He's so, so good. And yeah, love him.
Love
It's
it.
great. It's perfect.
And I gotta tell you that UNC versus Duke thing is such
So
a
real.
real thing because I'm from Mississippi, so I didn't know about it till I moved up here, however, 30 years ago or whatever. But my bestie, she's a big UNC person, and then we have other friends that are Duke people, and when I tell you when they play, like, basketball, March Madness, like, it's a gathering
Yeah.
because it's one or the other, and you don't go, "Oh, just both basketball." No. It is a rivalry like no other, and when they're saying like, "Well, this one went to UNC, this one went to Duke, and so the 3rd one is the" that's like a real thing, and so I kinda like that he brought it all in
Yeah.
and then said that he based that guy on Thomas Ravenel,
It,
basically. He didn't say Thomas Ravenel, but he said the
but
show.
he said it without saying it. We read between the lines.
Yeah, and so he's a bad guy, basically, is what it comes down to. Um, that's it. Now, Deanna, you did mention earlier the Montage Queen. You have that business going
Yes.
and, kicking ass, taking names.
Always, we
Mhm,
are cranking over here at the headquarters
mhm, mhm.
and gosh, it's been fun,
Yeah,
So if you do need any if you're listening and you would like a montage of any kind of sort, we specialize, we being me, in mitzvahs, in birthdays, in anniversaries. Just handed in a 50th anniversary last night. Love that.
nice.
It's so nice. It's so lovely, to see just the whole life together. I
Yeah,
gotta say, if you were like wondering about marriage
mm,
and can it work, I feel like I get such a nice view because people come to me with their big ones, So
yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen a good amount of like 30 years married, 40 years, 50, and I'm like, it's out there, guys, and it's possible, and people have
yeah,
beautiful lives together, So yeah,
yeah. This
the
year I'm cel this year I'm c
montagequeen.com.
yeah, this year I'm celebrating 25.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So, the Montage Queen, and then, of course, you also have How to Be Less Old, of which
Yes.
I'm a listener and a subscriber to your Substack, like I was
Bless you.
talking about at the beginning. They not only keep you updated on the phrases that the youth are using, she's also, giving you the products that you need
Yes, to stay
to
young.
to stay young.
There was a really funny, I don't know if I'm sure you did not get to see today's, but Emily wrote a post where I learned a new phrase this
Oh,
morning.
okay.
It was called huzz,
Huz.
and that
Short for
is
husband?
no, hold
Oh,
on.
shoot.
Huzz and guzz. Hold on. So,
Oh, huz and
okay.
guz.
So, listen, I'm saying them completely wrong. We're gonna regroup.
Okay.
Ch- Chuzz, Chuzz,
Chuz.
is ugly hoe. If you hear someone saying chuzz, it's an
Uh-huh.
ugly hoe. If you're
Okay.
hearing them say gruzz, Gruzz, it's a
Uh-huh.
group of old people. Maybe they're hoes. We haven't been able to drop down on that. But like if you see some youths are walking past you and a bunch of gal pals having brunch and you hear
Uh-huh.
gruzz, you've been offended. Okay. That's all I know is I'm gonna keep my ears out.
But what if they call you a chuz?
Well, then I'm like, thank you, actually.
Thank you
Thank you
that
for
you think I could
that
look
I'm
like a
out in
hoe.
these
Yeah.
streets, ugly or not.
But whenever I learn a new phrase, then I ask my son. And and
Yes,
and he always has opinions. He has his finger on the pulse. He's 19. So I'm going to be asking him about
please do.
chuz and gruz.
Please do. And the episode where if you guys are thinking, because I mean, Chuz and Gruz,
Mhm.
let's put those to the side. But
Mhm, mhm.
if you were like, hey, I'm interested in getting some at home beauty tools, I do think we do a good job of going through. We have a
Yeah.
bunch of videos. We kind of go through the Nira laser, the Dr. Dennis Gross steamer, the
Mhm.
Medicube HR booster, and
And the
the
various, red light therapies that I do a lot of those as well.
yes, we're gonna do like a nighttime routine. I'm gonna get Emily in the Omnilux suite. Face,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
chest, hand.
Yeah.
So,
I don't have the hand one, but I'm sure it's next. Sure it's next.
I the hand one doesn't get used very often over here, but it should. I forget about the hand one, but the chest and the face I am dedicated to.
Me too, daily. I do it daily. Um, I will tell you something else that I just bought
Yeah,
that is still in the box downstairs is, a full body red light therapy.
interested.
Mhm. It's
Very
like a
interested.
sleeping bag. So
Oh
you
my
it's
god,
and,
stop.
I told my husband this is gonna cure us. It's going to take us into the next millennia with, it's good for your joints, it's good for your skin. I'm
How
fully bought
much?
in.
2,000?
No, it was like
How much?
$500.
Okay, okay,
Um, and maybe I just told myself that because I used a bunch of my Amazon credit.
okay,
So maybe it was more, but it definitely wasn't $1,000.
okay, great. Oh, have
What
you
is
seen
this?
any of these?
It's
This
Waterloo or the straw?
the straw. So
Okay,
these
tell
are
me.
called I got these on Amazon, they're called Lipsies.
Uh-huh.
So, when I feel like I smoked occasionally, but I have some lines from using straws.
Eh,
So, if
all day, every day.
okay,
And
so
I
you
know it's
need
bad.
this because what this does is flatten you out so you're not making that straw thing. So, these are on Amazon.
You get the whole straw or you just get the little tip?
You just get the little tip. This is for those thicker straws. I have to get one for like the generic straw. These are the ones that come with like your yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Okay,
I'll
but
send you a link for that.
thank you. Send me a link. And then when I this is okay, when I have my Stanley Cup, it's the big straw, which I think
Yes,
is
this
even
is
worse.
Stanley Cup straw.
And then if I get a if I'm in my house and I'm getting if I'm making myself like a little sparkling water or something, I
Sure.
get a regular straw. I can't stand to just drink out of a cup.
Yeah, well, you need these because that I've like been off straws because of the lip wrinkle thing. And so now I'm back on because of these. So I will send you. There's also straws that are straws themselves that have like
A
they're
flat top.
flat that you can use. I haven't tried those. Maybe they're great, but I have a little satchel in my bag with this with a cup with one of these. So it's ready
Uh,
to go.
I'm on it. Oh my gosh, that's
It
genius.
it is pretty smart.
You guys, how to be less old.
There you
is
go.
helping us out, ladies of a certain age, okay? So follow Deanna, the montage queen, and also Deanna M. Cheng, and also How to Be Less Old. Is it How to Be Less Old or is it HTBLO?
On Instagram, it's HTBLO, and
Mm,
if you wanna check out the Substack, it's howtobelessold.substack.com.
and you should. And you
Thank you
should.
so much, Mary Payne. This has been delightful.
As always, you guys, I love Deanna Cheng. I find her
Love
to be a
you.
total delight. And you just had a birthday, so happy birthday.
Thank you. It's been
Okay.
a fun celebratory week.
Oh, you're a week-long celebrator.
We're gonna do a year. Yeah.
Oh,
We're gonna take it through the year.
okay. That's what we had
Mhm.
to do when Ingrid, turned 40. We had to do 1
Mhm.
year of Ingrid, and, next year will be when she turns 50, and we're gonna have to do it again,
Yeah.
and, it's a
Oh, you
lot.
guys have been rolling together for a while.
We've been rolling together for 20 years.
Love it.
Like, we met when our kids were in the two-year-old class in preschool,
Oh, it's so
and
sweet.
those girls are now 22.
Damn.
Time flies when you're having fun. All right, thanks, Deanna.
Bye.